Okay, this is the third and last video in this series. And I listened through the other ones and I realized I have some problems following my numbers. So I skipped 6 and 8. So let's see what number 6 can be. And on my list I have that when I face something I truly and dearly do not like, something I hate, something I find as terrible, it's like a kind of work. I choose a kind of work and I really don't like it. Then it gives me the chance to find out what I do like. So every problem shows me something I don't like. And in that way, if I use this as a teacher, I ask myself, so if I don't like this, what is it I like? So it must be something like the opposite. If I'm in a relationship with a lot of fighting and when I express my needs, I'm judged and I hate it. And I stay in it for a long time and I can't get through it because the pattern repeats itself. Then hopefully I learn that a priority, top 5 in a relationship for me, is to have open, honest, vulnerable communication where difficult things can be shared with empathic listening. So I learn by facing what I don't like, what I truly like, and then I make sure to align my choices with that discovery. Knowing what I like, I go for what I like. And our obstacles are often needed to show us that. Okay, each of these points I could speak about for a long time. And we will have 7 days in May, so that's good. So number 8 I also skipped, so let's say number 8. And some of these categories are overlapping, so I repeat myself maybe a little bit. But it's different angles. So the number 8 is, my obstacles can show me my shadow side. So my shadow is what I suppress, what I consider not me, what I consider alien, foreign to me. So my obstacles are often a mirror that shows me something I'm rejecting, suppressing, denying in myself. So for instance, let's say I'm with a job where some of my colleagues are quite dominating and quite pushy in getting their agenda through. And I feel overrun repeatedly, again and again. And I hate it. And I complain to all my friends and I don't know what to do about it. It may be that I have suppressed my power subpersonality, my power side, because I learned in childhood that the way to get what I need, get what I want, is to be nice, to be kind, to be listening, to be empathic. And I have not honored the part in me which is forceful, which stands for something, which has passion and power. And all those people which I consider a big problem, terrible people, horrible, I don't want to have anything to do with them, are actually showing me something in me that I need to embrace. I need to find that part in myself which is able to stand up for what he believes in and has a willingness to use some force to follow up that. So now we can continue our regular numbers again. Number 11. On my list I have, obstacles, problems can help us appreciate what we have instead of focusing on what we don't have. So here I remember a story from a book, I think Rich Dad, Poor Dad, about financial perspectives and abundance, where the author whose name I can't pronounce right now, as an, I think 18, 19-year-old, came to his family house, huge mansion owned for 5 generations, and the whole house was burning. Nothing could be saved. All the people were outside, fire trucks, but the whole house burnt down. And what did he feel? He felt relief. He felt free. So by losing that problem, it wasn't even a problem. It was immediately like an awakening experience. Sometimes that can take a little time. Let's say your house burns down and you discover, wow, I have oxygen to breathe. I have flowers to look at. I have good friends. I have a body that works. I have interests. I have a job I love. I have so many things. I don't have a house. And I spent so much time fixing my house and trying to have the perfect house. And my money was spent on my house and my time. And I was complaining that it wasn't good enough even. Now it's gone. And I appreciate what I have. Same. I break a foot. I have problems walking for a long time. I learned to appreciate that I have hands, and after the foot hopefully heals, I really appreciate, wow, I have a leg. If you have never experienced back pain, how often do you feel gratitude for not having back pain, for having a healthy back? So the kind of obstacle which is a loss of something can show us to appreciate what we do have, instead of focusing so much on what we don't have. Number 12. Obstacles can help us deepen relationships by bringing to light things that are hidden. So this is related to shadows. Often we can be satisfied in relationships, work relationships, friendships, love relationships at a certain level. And everything is moving along quite nicely, everything is okay, but it's only okay, it's not fantastic, it's not amazing, it's not expansive, it's not transforming, it's not opening the heart as we know someplace it could. And often a crisis is needed, a problem is needed, a challenge is needed, a conflict that makes us crash, so that it brings to light what stands in the way. So an obstacle, a challenge, can bring to light what stands in the way for a greater transformation, greater opening, greater heart opening, bigger love, bigger freedom. Number 13. So this is an aspect of the previous one. Basically, often it's attributed to Einstein. I have no idea if it's actually from Einstein. But the quote is, a problem cannot be solved at the same level as that which created it, with the same mindset which created it. So many of our problems are related to trying to sort out life on a personality level. We have our coping strategies, we have our security ways of security, we have our opinions that we attach to, we have our beliefs, our identities, we have our comfort zone, we have all these things. But no matter how perfect all this network of way of living life is, often it breaks down. Basically, it breaks down because we need to move to another level. We need to move from the level we're at to an entirely new dimension. So an obstacle can show us that, wait a minute, am I in the right perspective of life? Who would I take myself to be? Is there another dimension entirely? In coaching, there's like simple tools to, if you have a conflict, you take 2 chairs, empty chair, and you put the conflict partner in the other chair, imaginary, and then you swap chairs, and then you take a third chair and watch both from the outside. This simple method involves this getting to the helicopter view, transcending, seeing everything from the outside, gaining a totally different perspective. Again, a lot can be explored about this. Then number 14. So as we work through challenges and obstacles, and we get used to seeing the gift in our problems, we see that there's learning, there's growth, there's new perspectives, there's muscle, there's essence, there's needs. All these things start to flow, and I face my challenges as challenges, my obstacles as interesting challenges. I may reach the point where I realize challenges, obstacles are simply a part of life. And they're not a problem. The problem is not a problem. So at a certain level of awareness, I may come to the discovery that there actually are no problems.